and then there will be one reporting. Okay. So only one reporting for 7, 8, 9. Because they are really parts of the same sequence. Okay, so by this time, thank you. So by this time, you have your 5 key themes, right? Okay. They should be strengths, right? Okay, they should be strengths that, so if your president then asks you, when you get back to your universities, okay, what did you learn from this course? Okay. So you say, we learned that we have 5 key strengths, okay? Okay, so that's the first answer that you will give, okay? Now, let's go to workshop number 8, page 87. Okay. Do you remember in workshops 3 to 6, categories 1, 2, 3, 4, part 3, you are asked what is the top suggestion for improvement, right? You remember that? You also did that in your pre-work. Okay. So, what I'd like you to do is to list all of those top suggestions for improvement, okay, that you arrived at in your group, okay. And some of those you may have to consult your pre-work also, okay. If you don't think that the group's suggestions for improvement are enough, then you feel free to include those from your pre-work. But my point is, whatever you put in there as your, whatever you put in your list, and your list should have about anywhere from 8 to 12, okay? Whatever you put on your list of 8 to 12 must be as a result of consensus. Everyone contributed to it, everyone bought into it, okay? Everyone's input was heard. Then what I'd like you to do next is to evaluate those 8 to 12, let's say 10, suggestions for improvement that you came up with. Okay? And each one of those 10 suggestions for improvement, I'd like you to evaluate using 6 criteria. Now, if you can't get to all these 6, that's fine, as long as you get to at least 3 of these criteria. Okay? The first criteria is, how expensive is it to implement this particular alternative? So, if it is expensive, then you score it a 1. If it is not expensive, then you score it a 2. Now, of course, when you talk about expensive here or not expensive, everything is relative, right? Okay, so what I will do here is I will list all of my 10 suggestions for improvement. Then I will do the evaluation on cost to complete, the first criterion at the same time. So everything is relative. So, so what I will do then is that half of my suggestions for improvement, I'll probably put a 1, meaning it's high, and the other half I'll put a 2, meaning low. Second criterion is anticipated benefits. What benefits do you anticipate? Benefits in terms of benefits to students, stakeholders, your objectives, that you anticipate if this particular suggestion for improvement is solved. Okay? Again, the answer would either be low or high. I know I'm trying to oversimplify this. Okay? Third, do you have the technology solution to solve this problem? Okay? If it is heavily software based and you don't have the software, then you would say 1, absent. Okay? Or if you have the technology to solve this problem, then you would put 2. Okay? Number 4, labor intensity. How much manpower, how many workers, how many faculty and staff would be involved, would be needed, okay, in order to implement this suggestion. So if it is very high, okay, then you would put a 1. If fewer people, the fewer people that it might take, that would be necessary to execute it, then you'll put a 2. C5 is impact to stakeholders. And you might say that C5 and C2 are about the same, because impact to stakeholders, how will this benefit your key stakeholders, okay? And then C6 is overall ease of implementation. Like, how do you feel about how easy or how difficult is it to implement this particular suggestion for improvement? So, I want you to score those items, and then the output of this workshop is you will have your top 5 opportunities for improvement that you're then going to list at the bottom of page 88. Okay? So page 88, you will list your top 5 opportunities for improvement. So that's the second thing that you will report in the report out. The first thing that you will report will be your 5 key themes. The second thing that you will report will be your top 5 opportunities for improvement. Okay. Then we go to workshop number 9. Okay. So workshop number 8, you'll take from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to do that. Okay. Workshop number 9, you'll take from 2 to 3 to do that. Okay. Okay, and then we will have a report out after workshop number 9. Workshop number 9, you will then prepare an action plan for each one of the 5 opportunities for improvement. Now, if you think writing an action plan for 5 is going to be too laborious, okay, if you don't have much time, then at least do for 2, okay? At least do 2 for the 5, okay? But ideally, 5 action plans, okay? So what do we have in each one of these action plans? We got a template there in page 89. The template there, okay, so first of all, you list who's going to be the sponsor. The sponsor is an executive in your university who's going to be the person who's going to authorize this project, okay? That will close this opportunity. It might be a vice president, it might be a dean, it might be, but it's the executive sponsor. Second, who's going to be the project leader? The project leader might be a person from among your group, okay? Who's going to be the project manager of that particular OP? 3, current state. Current state, you will just list what the OP is, what the opportunity for improvement is that you will actually get from the prior workshop, okay? Number 4, deliverable. How do you know that this OP has already been closed? What is it that you're going to produce? Like it might be, we will draft a new performance management system, okay? And that the evidence that it produces, we will have a new performance management manual that has been developed, that has been tested, and that has been circulated and approved, okay? So that's an example of a deliverable. 5, project team. Who will be involved in the implementation of that OP? Now, 6, implementation steps. What are the action steps that you need to do? 7, how do you know that you are what's the outcome of each step in terms of a measure of success? 8, put timelines. 9, who are responsible? Okay, you have there RACI. R means responsible. R is the one, responsible is the one who actually does the work. A is accountable. The accountable person is the one, okay, it's usually the boss of the responsible person, usually it's the manager who is also the sponsor of this activity, okay. C is the one who is consulted. Who are the other members of the organization who are to be consulted as this step is being done? And I, informed. Who should be informed about these activities? Okay, so RACI. And then number 10, any resources that are required to make the project a reality, so you need to write that in. And number 11, how will you keep others informed of your progress? Okay, so in a sense, Are you going to have a newsletter, a monthly email? Okay. So those are the things that will go into your action plan for every OP, for your top priority OP. So, in terms of reporting, what you will report will be 5 key themes, the 5 opportunities for improvement, and then at least 1 action plan. Okay? Okay? So that's your, that will be your deliverable, what you're going to report by 3 o'clock. Okay? We can get started.